Welcome to episode 29 of My Yarny Corner. My name's Alex and I live in Yorkshire in the UK, and this is a podcast all about knitting and crochet. So welcome everybody, I hope you're all okay and I hope you've had a lovely crafty 2 weeks. Today is Thursday the 24th of February and it's snowing. So the light, I'll try and move you a little bit, you look a bit weird there. The light is really bad because it's just snowing. Well, it's not settled here, it's settled on the moors further that way and you can see it quite thick on the moors, but it hasn't settled here. But yeah, I do apologise for the light. I've got a lamp on, I've got the big light on, and everybody is here as well. Danny's sat there, Finn's sat there, they're both playing on, well, Finn's on the Xbox and Danny's on Danny's on the PlayStation. So it feels a little bit weird, but they've been told to keep quiet. If you hear any screaming, Finn's playing FIFA. It means he's packed a really good player. I don't understand FIFA. Anyway, so what have we got to talk about today? I do have 2 finished objects and we have some works in progress. I did tell you I was going to have a cast on party and I've been quite good actually. I've been quite restrained. That creaking is Danny's chair. Hopefully it's stopped now. I have been quite restrained. I haven't cast on too many things, more so because I don't have the needles. So there is a few things that I've cast on, so we'll get into that in a little bit. You may, before I forget, because I always forget this bit, I'll leave all the information about where you can find me in the description box below. I'm on Ravelry, Instagram, we have a Facebook page. There's no Ravelry group yet because you all know me and Ravelry. But there is a Facebook page, which I do plan on just getting more active in. I'm just not very active in it at the moment, but I do plan to rectify that. There is a Kofi account for the podcast as well. And yeah, I think that might be everything. So you may notice that I have a new logo. Yay! I absolutely love it. Love it so much. So I had this design from a company called Jellyfish Designs. I will leave their information for Instagram on the screen. They were absolutely brilliant. If you need a logo designing for anything, I can highly recommend them. They were absolutely brilliant and I was a pain. I really was a pain. I kept tweaking it and tweaking it and tweaking it. I'm like, just make that a bit bigger and just make that a slightly more hot pink, and it was just brilliant. It really was brilliant. I can't recommend him enough. So if you are looking for a logo, I'll leave his information on the screen and just contact him. It's fantastic. What else has happened? I'll get into live stuff at the end of the podcast. I do just want to talk about the shawl along quickly. The shawl along ends on the 1st of March. I said on the last podcast that, in fact, I'm just going to pause the washing machine. Hang on. It was about to start spinning and that could have got really loud. I said on the last podcast that we would announce the winner on an Instagram live. We've since decided that we are going to be doing March vlogs. Yay! So we will announce the winner on the 1st of March on the vlogs. So if you keep an eye out for that, and we'll do it sort of last thing on the vlog, so you'll probably have until about 5-6 o'clock to get your entries into that hashtag. I'll put the hashtag on the screen again. There's been so many entries. Thank you so much to everybody that's entered. It's been so nice seeing all the entries. And yeah, there's going to be 3 prizes. There'll be a pattern prize, a bag, and a skein of yarn. So get your entries in now because that will end on, is it Tuesday the 1st of March? I'm not sure if it's Tuesday. I'll put it on the screen. So yeah, make sure you get your entries in for that because that ends soon. So because we are doing March vlogs as well, there will be no podcast during March just because it's such a lot of work to be vlogging and doing the podcast as well. So I've made the decision this time to not podcast until after the vlogs. But there will be plenty of vlog content, so I hope that's okay. And I'll be back the first week of April on the Thursday like I usually do. So now I've got that mouthful out of the way. How are you all? Hope you're all okay. Shall we make a start on the knitting and crochet content? rather than me just sitting here and waffling. Right, okay, so I have 2 finished objects. The first one, I think I've left up here, is behind me. I've got to show you this as well. Hang on a minute. I've got to show you this. It was my son's birthday on Tuesday. It was 21. Can you believe that? 21. So his girlfriend got him this money box. So you put your penny on, right? Watch. How cute is that? I absolutely love it. I keep putting money in it to play with it. It's going to be loaded by the time he comes home from work tonight. Anyway, yeah, his birthday, 21. I can't believe it. We got him a lovely, lovely cake. Had a cake made for him. I'll try and put a picture on the screen. Yeah, 21. Where does the time go? But yeah. Anyway, back to finished back to finished objects. So obviously I made some socks. I am on such a sock kick at the minute. It's all I want to work on. So these are my first finished object. This is the colourway Love Is In The Air that we designed. I think it came out in the last update. I really, really like it. The blue one is a Somerset Yarns. I've talked about this yarn pack before. I bought this yarn pack last year and it was 6 50-gram skeins and I'm still getting through them. I use them always for heels, toes and cuffs and they're absolutely brilliant. So this is Somerset Yarns and this is My Yarny Corner. Just shorty socks. There are 12 rounds of 1x1 ribbon, 20 rounds for the leg, and I do the foot until it measures 9 inches. So with the heel and the toes, that's 4 inches. And then I think it's 56 rounds, which is about 5 inches for the foot. And I always do the shadow wrap heel. It's my absolute favourite heel at the moment. I just love it. Look how neat it is. Isn't it gorgeous? So neat. I never have a problem with that at all. So I always do that heel. But yeah, just a standard vanilla pair of shorty socks. But I'm really, really loving socks at the moment. I really am. They're just my favourite thing to work on. And they are covered in dog hairs. This yarn is actually, Danny dyed this one for me separately. And it's on the 85-15 base. And it is so, so soft. It's lovely. So that is those. My socks. And my other finished object is not knitting or crochet, but I did make this bag. I absolutely love it. I had, just open it out for you. I had this material given to me by my friend. It's got a box bottom on it. And I just obviously put a drawstring on this one because it's slightly bigger. The ones I normally do are about 10 inches high, I think. See if I've got the height that I normally do, which are about 10 inches. And I just put a little zip on the top, and these are perfect for sock size bags. But I wanted one a little bit bigger. So to get the drawstring casing, I followed Ali's tutorial from Little Drops of Wonderful. I'll link the video below. And she had a really good video for doing the casing. So I followed that tutorial for that. And I found it really easy, and I just put in a box bottom, and I won't show you what's inside, I'll show you that in a little bit. And this gorgeous lining, which was also a gift from one of the lovely viewers. She actually sent me quite a lot of material. It was from around my birthday time because she put me a lovely birthday present in it as well. But she sent me some gorgeous, gorgeous material, so thank you for that. I really do appreciate that. But this material I fell in love with, and it matches so perfectly to my giraffe one. So yeah, finished object number 2, a bag. I'm really pleased with it. It's not a sweater size bag, but it will fit a shawl easily. It's like 14 inches by 15 inches or something like that. And I did a 3-inch box bottom because I like plenty of room at the bottom. So yeah, in fact it's more than 3 inches. I'm going to have to measure that because it's going to annoy me. Where's my tape measure? I'll tell you how big the box bottom actually is. Yeah, it's 6. I did 3-inch squares on each side, so it's 6. But it's nice. It makes it really roomy inside. And this I got off, I think it was eBay. It's just, sorry about that, the camera rudely cut out. What was I saying? Yeah, this was off eBay, and it's just, you know the drawstring that you get in sweaters, on the hood. It's just that, which I thought was really, really nice. So yeah, that is my second finished object. So, shall we move on to works in progress? What was I working on last time? I think I'd finished everything, hadn't I? The only thing I had left was the Stephen West. Now, I ended up frogging the Stephen West. I was knitting away on it, and as it was getting bigger and bigger, I didn't like the colours together at all, and I just thought, I'm either going to waste my yarn or I need to frog it. It needs to be different colours. The more stripes that I added onto it, it just looked a bit, how can I explain it? It looked like I was going out on a sailing boat for the day. It was like very sailing colours. So I ended up frogging it. I'm going to reuse the yarn. I may use it for the boxy or something like that, because I really do want a boxy. So I'm going to reuse the yarn, but yeah, ended up frogging it. And I'm not disappointed that I frogged it, because I wouldn't have worn it. It wasn't looking right as the colours were coming together. And we all know Stephen West shawls are a mammoth project. I've only made one before, and I certainly wasn't going to sit and waste all that time making something that I wasn't going to wear. So that one did go and get frogged. Managed to save my yarn, which is absolutely brilliant. So I can definitely use the yarn for something else. The original Starflake shawl that I had seen was done in black and gold, and I really, really liked that. It was really effective. So I may do it in those colours. I might get some Stylecraft Special and see if I can get any colours close to those to do it in. But I was not going to waste all that time making it to not enjoy the finished product at the end of it. So that one did get frogged. But I did cast on, I think it's living in this bag, the Flax Light. If you've been here for a while, you'll know that I've tried this pattern before. And because you have the garter section down the sleeve, I struggled really hard to know, A, if I was on an increased row, and B, if I was on a purl row on this bit. So I found it really confusing. So I just decided I'd do it again, but I'm just omitting the garter section down the sleeve. So for those of you that don't, everyone knows this pattern, but if you don't know this pattern, this is the Flax Light by Tin Can Knits. It will be linked below. And I'm attempting to do a little bit of a fade with it. So this yarn was dyed for me. That's Danny getting ragey on FIFA. This yarn is dyed for me, especially by my friend Megan, who is Purl Passion. And this is absolutely gorgeous. It's all pinks and greens. So that's the yarn that I'm starting with. And so far, this is how it's working up. I haven't got very far because it is obviously 4-ply and it takes a while. But there we go. Isn't it nice? Isn't it gorgeous? Just look how the colours are coming together. I really, really like it. So, this is my yarn from Megan. And this is the birthday bonanza that Danny dyed especially for me for my birthday, which I thought would fade really, really nice. The original plan is I have a second skein of yarn by Megan, which is this one, and that was the original plan, but it's not going to work. It's far too dark. So I'm going to see what this looks like as it's knitted up, because they do look really different once you knit them. So I'm going to see what this looks like when it's knitted up and then decide for another skein of yarn to go with it. So at the moment it looks quite blues and greens, but it does look very different when it's knitted. So I'm just going to do another skein of yarn that will be slightly darker than this one and fade all three together and hope that I've got enough with 3 skeins. I may not. So yeah, I've got another sort of 10 rounds before I separate for the sleeves. In fact, a little bit more than that, I think. So I've definitely got a good chunk out of the first one. So I should have enough with the 3 skeins, but we will see. But I'm really, really enjoying it. It's lovely. I just love the raglan increases on this. They're so neat and tidy. Look how neat they are. So yeah, it's plodding along. That's my cute little stitch marker. This is also from Megan. I won this from Megan's podcast. Megan has a YouTube channel. I'll link it below in the description box. And she had a giveaway last year and I won this. Isn't it cute? It's called My Pet Rock. Can you see it? There you go. So yeah, I'm just working away on it. There's no rush. It'll be ready when it's ready. I'm not rushing around on it yet. I tend to, with projects, I sort of really take my time, and then when I get where I can see the end in sight, then I start putting more work into it. I've toyed with the idea so many times of doing a rotation, but I flip between projects such a lot, and what I think I might work on that day is usually different. I end up working on something completely different, so my way works out quite well for me at the moment. So that is that, and that's living in my Snoopy bag. Danny bought this for me last year. It's got this gorgeous Snoopy stitch marker on it, which I'm dying to use, but I like to keep it on the bag. And it's got another one here. You see that one? This was from, I think it was it Clara Rose Crafts? I'll link it below. It was, I'm sure it was Clara Rose Crafts. But I'll link the shop below as well. So that is that. Work in progress number 2 kind of folds into work in progress number 3. So this is a crochet project, and it's living in my Diane bag. Now, let me see. So did I talk? I don't think I talked about this last time. This is the Midnight Haze cardigan, and it was in... was it Crochet Now? I'll have to put it on the screen. It was in one of the magazines. I have the Readly app, so I don't buy the magazines in supermarkets anymore, and it's like $7.99 for the app, and you get all of the magazines. It's got the Knitter, Simply Crochet, Crochet Now, Let's Knit, Knit and Crochet, Molly Makes, all. It's got loads, plus lots and lots of other magazines as well. So I always use the app, so I can't remember which one it came out of, but I'll put it on the screen. But this is it. This is the Midnight Haze cardigan, and I really, really like it. It's gorgeous, isn't it? So I'll show you what yarn I'm using first, and then I'll talk about it in a minute. So the yarn I'm using is a bonus DK, and the colourway is Silver Mist, I think. Let me just check. Yep, Silver Mist. Hayfield bonus DK in Silver Mist. And this is how far I'd gone. So it's worked flat, and you join it, you stitch it together. So this is the back piece. But the stitches, look at the stitch texture. It's like little crosses all the way through. They're absolutely gorgeous. So obviously it's double knit as well, so it's working up really, really fast. So there's not a great deal to see on it yet. Now, the reason I use this yarn is because I had the Salem sweater. I started the Salem sweater in, I think it was October, and I got it to the point where I could try it on, and the neckband sat really weird on my neck, and I just didn't like it. So I was planning on frogging it. So I thought, well, I'm not going to waste the yarn. I'll use the yarn for this here. Now, I've still got 2 balls in here. It's not expensive yarn. I bought it from Hobbycraft. I think it was like $2.99 a ball or something like that. So it's really, really good. It's 100% acrylic, I believe. Let me just check that before I tell you all. It's 100% acrylic. Yes, it is. It's 100% acrylic, so it can go in and out of the washing machine. But I thought it's going to be a really nice cardigan for autumn. So the plan was to frog the Salem sweater. Now, as soon as it came to frog it, I couldn't do it. I absolutely couldn't do it. I'll talk about that in a minute. But, so whether I redo this in a different colour, because I don't really want two garments the same colour, or, not that it'll matter, I can have a jumper and the cardigan the same colour, it really doesn't matter. I've still got quite a bit of the yarn left, so I'll get quite a bit done with this, and it would be really cost effective to use this yarn. But I don't know, we'll see. I may frog this and do it in a different colour. But I'm definitely going to make it, because I really like the cardigan, it's just gorgeous. I think on it there's no ribbing on the bottom here. Can you see? I'm going to put ribbing on it. And I may just finish the sleeves slightly shorter and add a bit of ribbon to the sleeves as well. I'm not sure. I'll see how it's looking as I make it. And I'm not putting buttons on the front either. But I'll see how it looks when I'm making it. But yes, when it came to frogging... Where's that one in there? Hang on a minute, what have I done here? That's the Flax Light one, that should be in that one. So when it came to frogging the Salem sweater, I just couldn't do it. So I already had it on waste yarn because I'd decided to frog it. And I thought, I'm just going to try it on again. Well, I tried it on again, and obviously with everything that's gone on, I've lost weight and it fits so much better. So I'm so pleased that I tried it on again. So I've picked it up again. Now, I'm going to show you it. So this is done in the same yarn. This is Hayfield Bonus DK in Silver Mist. Now, where are we? Oh, have I lost my cable needle? Hang on a second, I think no, it's there, it's okay. So the pattern is by, I'll show you the picture first. Josh sneezing, he's not got COVID, don't worry. Josh has a dust allergy, and when he gets up on a morning he sneeze, 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 sneeze. So it's by Tristan Molina of Dragon Horde Designs, and this is it. I also have the pattern for that. I got that in my Get Your Wishes Granted, which I'm really pleased about. But yeah, this is it. It's got, you can't really see it on the picture, but it does have this gorgeous cable design down the sleeve. So let's have a look. The actual sleeve design is charted, but it's really simple to follow. I've had no problems following it. The rest of the instructions are written, but this bit's charted. And it does have short row shaping in as well. Now, I think last time you saw this, I was about here. I'd not long separated for the sleeves because I did the first sleeve first. So this is it. And it's slightly cropped. Obviously it needs a good block. And this is the gorgeous design. So I can get my arm down so you can see down the sleeves. Look at that, isn't it beautiful? That's the part that I fell in love with this jumper. It's just gorgeous. I got cut off again. That was Jake ringing. Anyway, yeah, this is the bit that I fell in love with, which is this cable design. I just love it. Absolutely love it. So you've got short rows, which does make the back raise up a bit. All I've got to do now is finish this sleeve, and that's it, it's finished. So I'm really enjoying just picking it up again. I only picked it up, what day are we on today? Thursday, so it must have been Tuesday. And I've just loved it. It's all I've worked on since then. So totally finished the body. And just this second sleeve to finish. It's not, I want to make it again, but I want to make it in the yarn called for. No, not the yarn called for. I want to make it again. Not in a mohair, but in a merino or something like that, because it's not got the drape with it being acrylic. Hopefully it'll block and it'll be fine. The rib band should have been a split rib band. Because it's acrylic, I didn't do it because I just think it'll just keep its shape and just go like that. So I've kept a normal rib band on it, which is my only modification really, just so that doesn't happen. So I do want to make it again, more probably in autumn colours, I think. Yeah, so I want to make it again in in a yarn that's going to be a little bit more drapey, because that is the effect of the jumper. I love this one and I'll wear this one to death. My weekender that I made by Andrea Mowry, I made in acrylic and I have never got it off. I wear it almost every day, all through the autumn, winter, spring, obviously not in summer, but I wear that one almost every day. So this will get worn because it's so easy to take care of. It makes it really cost effective to make, but I'd like just a fancier one, so if I'm going out I can just have one on that just sits how I want it to sit. So I'm definitely going to make it again, but I do love this one just as much. But yeah, so it's nearly finished. Hopefully, well, it will be finished by the next podcast if I'm not podcasting for a month. It'll definitely be finished by the next podcast. And it's so thick and warm as well because it's DK and it's working up so fast. This sleeve is just really zooming along. So yeah, it's coming, it's on the way. And I'm just pleased I tried it on again. I was obviously doing a size, I must have been doing a size that was slightly too small. In fact, when I picked it up, I wasn't sure which needle size I used. And I always say that I always go up a needle size when I make a garment because I'm such a tight knitter. But when I checked on this, I hadn't gone up a needle size. I'd done it in the same needle size and hadn't gauge swatched, so it would have been slightly too small. But yeah, let's see if I can show you the length that it's coming up at. It's going to come and sit about here, which is just down to my hip length. But yeah, it's gorgeous. I love it. I'm so pleased I picked it back up again. So that is that. And I have, let me move you back up because I've set up. I have one final work in progress, which is a pair of socks. Now this is for the Dia Designs Year of the Sock 2022. I'll put the hashtag on the screen. This is run by Denise of the Dia Designs podcast. Now she does say you can cast socks on early. I had already done my February socks and I'd finished the other socks that I were making. I was just missing socks. I like to knit on socks on a night time. So I didn't want to cast on another pair and then think, oh, I've got to get these finished before I cast on the next socks for the prompts for Dia Designs. So I just cast on the March socks. The prompt is spring. So I'm knitting these, whoops, not two at a time, but I've got myself in a tangle. But I'm knitting them concurrently. So I'm closer to the camera. There's not a lot to see at the moment. This is them. And I am just using all of my scraps of yarn. It's going to be, every single stripe is going to be a different colour. And they're all my scraps of yarn. I'll show you the other one. There's not a great deal to see. I'm making them match as well. And I'm just doing 11 rounds for each. So there's 11 rounds for the ribbon, which normally I do 12, but just to keep the stripes the same size, I'm doing 11 rounds for each. And then the heel was a different colour. And I'm just going to do each colour, each stripe a different colour and see how they turn out. Hopefully all spring colours. What have I got? I've got yarn attached everywhere. You can see that they're all spring colours in there. So I'm really enjoying making those. The only thing with making striped socks is you've got 1,000,001 ends to weave in. But on this one's got the heel on it already. I've woven in the ends already. I just turn the sock inside out and just weave in the ends as I go, and then it's not such a big thing at the end. I always do that with the heel anyway. Once I've done the heel and I get a couple of rounds above the heel, I always weave the ends in because I hate getting to the end of a sock and you've got 1,000,000 ends to weave in. I just want to finish it and try it on. What have I done here? Oh, I've got myself in a tangle. But yeah, so really simple, just striped socks, but really, really enjoying them. I kind of thought, should I have put those two colours together? But I don't know, I quite like it. And with the purple, oops, put myself in the eye. With the purple, it looks really, really nice. So, yeah, that is those. They won't be long before they're finished. And like I say, I'm doing them concurrently as well. I'm not sure what the prompt is for next month, but I'm not going to cast on next month's early. I think if I cast... No, I'm not going to cast on next month's early. Yeah, so that is them, and that is it for works in progress. That is everything. So I've been quite busy, haven't I? I've also had some incoming goodies. This came... was it yesterday or Tuesday? It was such a surprise, I wasn't expecting it. And the postman brought a parcel, and I opened the parcel, and look what I got. Isn't it beautiful? Straighten that bit back up. Isn't it just the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? This is what my Salem sweater's living in at the moment. It's got this gorgeous pocket inside as well. And not only that, it came with a matching notions pouch. How cute is that? Isn't it gorgeous? And it's got the same lining in it as well. Isn't it beautiful? So this is from my friend Shelley, and she has just opened an Etsy shop. I'll link her Etsy shop below, and I'll put her Instagram on the screen. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, just look at that. Isn't it beautiful? She also sent me another little pouch which I've put on my handbag. Let me just grab it. It also came with this. It's a little survival pouch for my purse, and it's got a scrunchie in it, some sweets, some paracetamol, and a pound. Isn't it gorgeous? She'll make these separately. If you contact her on Instagram, she'll sort it out. She's so good, and she does these personalisations. I thought that was so cute, so I keep that on my handbag. It's got a little key clasp with it. But yeah, isn't this just gorgeous? It's got little stitch markers here as well, and it's a really good sweater sized bag. It's just beautiful. It's got this little handle on it as well, which came in handy last night when I took it upstairs to bed and I was trying to carry everything. I just put my hand in there. So I really, really love it. So, yeah, go and check Shelley's shop out. She's brand new. I think at the moment she's only doing pre-orders for bags just until she builds some stock up. But yeah, it's just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So go and say hi. I'll try and get my sweater back in the bag. So yeah, that was my little surprise, which really, really made my day. It really did. It came with a lovely card as well, which I won't show because she's put me a lovely message inside it. Put that in there, and that in there. And the notion pouch. The notion pouch is such a good size. I've managed to fit everything in it. This is where I keep all my loose stitch markers, in this little bag here. And that's got all of my loose stitch markers in. And then I have my little miniature crochet hooks, which is great when you drop to stitch. They came free with a magazine, but they're fantastic. Tape measure. Tins of light bulb stitch markers. And then all my needles and what they're called, row counters. I forgot what they were called then, row counters. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased, and I absolutely love it. Fits everything in perfectly. So my old one that I had, I use now for my circular needles. So I think that's everything for the knitting and crochet content, and a little bit of sewing this week as well, which I was quite pleased by. Hello. Hello, Luigi. So, we'll get on to live stuff. I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody that left such lovely comments on my last video. You all made me feel so much better. It was so nice to hear the stories of how other people have it as well, and they're fine. If you knew, I'm talking about, I was diagnosed with diabetes a few weeks ago and I completely freaked out. I was really nervous and worried and wondering how life was going to be so different and how I was going to cope with it. But I had such an amazing response from everybody. The comments were just brilliant, and it really did make me feel better, and certainly got me to the point where I think I had sort of 2 weeks to wait until I saw the nurse, and it just helped me get from where I was to that next point without just panicking too much. So I had my nurse appointment on, I think it was on the 14th of February, and she was really, really good, and she put my mind at rest, and I feel much, much more able to handle things now. I'm not kind of freaking out about it anymore like I was. I think you could tell on the last podcast that I'd really freaked out. But yeah, I'm much more able to handle it, and I'm not going to lie, I've cooked some really nice meals. I'm really learning to cook as well, which has been an absolute godsend. I've managed to make a curry, so we haven't missed out on our curries. I've been using the Diabetes UK website a lot. In fact, I became a member and I joined up, I think it was only £3 a month membership. So I've been using that a lot, and there's some amazing recipes. So I've made us our chicken tikka masala, which you know we love if you watch the vlogs. So I've made the diabetic friendly version of that, and what else did I make that was really, really nice? Turkey, no. Was it turkey? No, it was chicken and parsley sauce. I never thought I could make a parsley sauce from scratch, but I did it. It was fine. Piri piri chicken. If you're diabetic, the diabetes website has the most amazing piri piri chicken on it. It's absolutely gorgeous. And when Danny's children were here last weekend, it's easier to cook like a big meal for us all because there's so many of us in the house when we're all together. So I cooked a roast chicken, and normally when I cook a roast chicken, I'll, lather it in oil and all sorts of stuff. But I did a diabetic friendly one, and it was absolutely gorgeous. So I'm really learning, and it's nice learning to cook all these different meals. It's been lovely. So yeah, I feel much, much better about it. And I just want to say a huge, huge thank you to everybody that reached out. It meant such a lot. And honestly, by the end, I'd podcasted on the Wednesday. It went up on YouTube on the Thursday. And by Friday evening, as the comments were coming in, I was just feeling so much better. That's Danny's shadow. He's walking across to let the cat out. I was feeling so much better. You've no idea how much you helped. You really haven't. Are you trying to get past sweetheart? Project bags everywhere. Yeah, you've just no idea how much you helped. I just needed to hear, it's okay, I know someone that's going through it, or my husband's going through it, or my daughter, or me, or I just needed to hear that. I needed to hear other stories. And yeah, it made such a lot of difference. By Friday, I felt back to my old self. I was happier again. I wasn't nervous and stressing and panicking. So just thank you so much. You made a huge difference. I can't tell you enough how much of a difference you made. So thank you for that. And yeah, so I've had my nurse's appointment. So I need a drink. My mouth's got really dry with all this talking. I had my nurse's appointment. That went really well. I'm booked in for an ECG tomorrow, just so they've got a baseline for the records of how things are. I'm still waiting for an appointment to go and have my pupils dilated so they can check my eyes. My feet were all okay. So the appointment went really well. And then I'm booked in for the next lot of blood tests on the 25th of April, I think it is. So I'm working really hard trying to get those levels down. I haven't cut carbs out. I've gone on to all whole meal carbs, but I'm not having carbs at tea time, so I'm just keeping them just on the lower side. Like I say, I've not cut them out at all, but I am keeping them on the lower side, so hopefully I can get these numbers down and not quite so high as they were. But yeah, so it's been a weird 4 weeks getting used to everything, but I find that I like things that I never thought I would, which was amazing. And my diet, yes, my diet would have been poor, if I'm totally honest. My diet was poor. I'm a terribly fussy eater, a terrible snacker. Would think nothing of just, I'll just pop to McDonald's and grab a burger for my dinner. That wouldn't even enter my head to think that's unhealthy. I would just do it. And I never ever looked at food labels or anything like that. Now it takes me ages to do the shopping because I'm looking at all the food labels. But yeah, so my diet was poor. You know, there's no getting away from that. I'm not going to attempt to say I don't know how I've got diabetes. I do know how I've got diabetes. I had a terrible diet. But it's nice now. That's not the only reason you get diabetes. Diabetes is not just because you have a terrible diet at all. It's genetic. It's part of your makeup, like the nurse was saying. Because I have the autoimmune condition anyway, it could have been that, which yes, it could have been. I think it was my diet. You know, there are many reasons you get diabetes, and it's not always poor diet as people think at all. If you, like my body, I'm not type 1, I'm type 2, so my body doesn't produce enough insulin, or my own body attacks my insulin. How was it worded? I can't remember. But basically, I don't produce enough insulin for what I'm eating. And that can come about, like I say, with autoimmune conditions. Just if your body just generally doesn't produce enough insulin, it can be down to diet. There's not a million, but there's lots of reasons why you get type 2 diabetes, and it's not just diet. But my diet was poor. So yeah, I'm really pleased with learning to cook. Do you remember me saying right at the start of 2022 that my goals were, I'd bought this slow cooker and I wanted to learn to cook properly and I wanted to lose weight? That came back and bit me in the arse, didn't it? Because now I'm being forced to learn to cook. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it, you know. Josh is really enjoying the meals as well. Finn's a little bit more fussy with his food, as you all know. But he's trying bits. Danny is even really enjoying them. As soon as I did his tikka masala, he was really pleased. But yeah, I am just enjoying learning to cook properly from scratch with herbs and spices and things that I've got in the cupboard, rather than, you know, grabbing something that's been prepared already. And I'm learning a lot as well, which is just brilliant. I'm learning such a lot. And you would think it would... Finn, will you just let the cat out, please? Thank you. You would think that would make the shopping bill really high, but I think it's actually cheaper. Aside from having to buy... No. Even the meat's not too expensive. But once you've got all the spices in and the tin stuff in that you need, like I'm using a lot of tin tomatoes and obviously a lot of spices, once you've got those in, you've sort of got them in for ages because you don't use them quickly. So it's just fresh vegetables, which usually supermarkets have got offers on them. So it's not even been that much more expensive, I don't think. I notice the cost now. If I'm having something that I know Josh isn't going to have, and Danny isn't going to have, I'll maybe buy them a ready meal that they can eat, and I'll buy myself something small, and I'll notice the price of that ready meal much more than what my food has cost. So I don't even think it's more expensive. It's strange, isn't it? But I'm feeling much, much better. I'm feeling a million times better than what I was a few months ago, where I was just so tired all the time and sluggish and didn't know what was wrong with me. I feel a million times better. So, yeah, it's been a journey, but a journey that I'm not pleased I've got diabetes, not at all. But it's opened my eyes, and I've needed my eyes opening. So, yeah, it's been positive in that I've been able to change things. And whether my sugars go down or not, I don't know what will happen. You know, maybe I can control it with diet and exercise. Maybe I can't. Maybe I'll end up on insulin, maybe I won't, I don't know. But right now, I feel pretty good. And exercising, I've been exercising. There is actually, we bought a step, me and Danny bought a step. And I've been doing that each day. There's a lady that does it on YouTube. She's called Chris, and her channel is Seedorner Fitness. I'll put it on the screen, and I'll link one of the videos below. And it's absolutely brilliant. I haven't had to join a gym. I've just bought this step, cost me like £17 off Amazon. And I've been doing it every day, and she's got so many videos. And I'm not going to lie, when I first started, at 7 minutes, I was done. The workouts I'm doing are normally sort of half an hour to 45 minutes. And at 7 minutes, I'm like dying and I'm done. That's the dog snoring. She's right there, if you can hear her. But now, you know, things are working. I'm getting that fitness level back up, and I'm managing my half an hour, and it's been absolutely brilliant. So yeah, if you're wanting a workout to do at home, I'll link that below because she's really, really good. But yeah, it's been brilliant. So yeah, that is that. So thank you all again for everything. Ruby, you are really snoring, darling. Rubes, you snoring, sweetheart. So we are going to be doing March vlogs. We'll start on March the 1st, which will be really, really nice. I do like vlogging, as you all know, so that'll be really, really lovely. So that'll start next week. As I said earlier on in the podcast, there'll be no podcast during March, just because it's quite a bit of work. The vlogging does take a lot of work anyway. You can come past, darling. The vlogging does take a bit of work anyway, getting it all together and editing, and it makes my phone continuously flat. So when I have a podcast, to film a podcast as well, it's quite a lot of extra work. So like I say, I took the decision to not film a podcast during the vlog month, which I hope you don't mind, but there'll be a longer podcast at the end of it because I'll have more to show. Hopefully, because we're also decorating in March as well, which needs doing desperately. So whole other story. These kittens have just pulled wallpaper off everywhere in the house. It's ridiculous. In the lounge, but I can luckily hide it with the curtain, but there's a huge section of the wallpaper where there was maybe like a little tiny bit lifted, and they've pulled and pulled and pulled and pulled, and it's off. Same in our bedroom as well. The kittens were in there such a lot when they were tiny because of the dog, and yeah, they've done the same in there, so we must decorate. So yeah, hopefully though there'll be a longer podcast at the end of it. Now the shop update is coming. We haven't decided on an actual date for it yet, but it will be coming. Probably when we're doing the shop update, Danny. Probably the Friday after the 1st of March. I'll put it on the screen what that date is. We'll aim for that day for a shop update, or the Friday after. The other exciting news is we are starting our advent calendars. We toyed last year with advent calendars and things, and we're doing them spread out over the year. That's how I bought my advent calendar last year. I cannot afford to buy an advent calendar outright. So we are splitting them out throughout the year. The first lot of advent calendars will go on sale on the 1st of March. We are calling it a very Yorkshire Advent. It's not going to be bright colours. It's going to be the colours that we would find in our scenery around us. So we are going to do it. We've ummed and ahed about whether we'd mix all the colours up or we'd do it so each colour would fade into the next. When I made my habitation throw, which I didn't continue with because it was too small, but that's the plan for this year, I wanted the colours to fade through, and that's how we're going to do it. So we're going to be starting at the lightest, and it'll go right up. So you've got, if you're wanting to knit each mini in each day, it will connect to the previous mini. So yeah, a very Yorkshire Advent. It will start on the 1st of March. The first club will go up on the 1st of March, and it will be labelled a very Yorkshire Advent month 1. Now there'll be eight months for the club, and each month you'll get 3 mini skeins. So you'll get day one, day 2 and day 3 in month 1, and then month 2 you'll get day 4, 5 and 6, and then month 3, 7, 8 and 9, and so on. So by the end of the 8 months you've got your entire 24 advent calendar. Each mini skein will be 20 grams mini skein, 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon, and the club will be £15 with postage. The postage won't be as high as £3.95 because it'll only be a very small packet. I'll have to look into how much that'll be, but it won't be like if you buy a skein of yarn, it's a higher postage because it don't fit through the letterbox. So I'll try and keep the postage down. So each month, yes, will be £15, but you will get a mini skein for each day, a 20 gram mini skein. So at the end of the club, you'll have 24 20 gram mini skeins. So that should end March April, May, June, July, August, September, October. That will end in October. So in November, we will also put on a main skein. So you'll have the chance to buy a main skein for Christmas Day as well, if you want it. So keep your eye out for the 1st of March. That will be before the next shop update. We'll keep it going on Instagram, so you can see on Instagram, and we'll keep reminding everybody on Instagram. But yeah, month 1 will be up on the 1st of March. That will be shipped out a week or 2 later. Obviously, it's a pre-order because I don't want to carry too much stock for it. But yeah, so 1st of March, keep your eye out for the Advent calendar. I'm super, super excited about our very Yorkshire Advent. I don't think any Yorkshire Advent's been done before. Hopefully it hasn't. But yeah, we're really, really excited about that. So that is that. The shop update, like I say, it will probably be either the first Friday of March or the second Friday of March. We'll see. I'm hoping for the first. It depends when the yarn comes. I need to order some more yarn. I need to pull my finger out. I've not even done that yet. So yeah, that is that. And hopefully there will be some bags in the next update as well. The last bags sold. They all sold. Thank you so much for buying my little Dodgy bags. So I'll put some more in. I'll try and get some bigger ones like this one in. So I know some of you don't make socks and you just wanted a slightly bigger bag. So hopefully a bigger bag like this would be okay. But yeah, thank you for that. So that is everything. I have waffled and waffled and I have no idea how long this podcast is because my phone has cut out twice. This section's on 28 minutes, but I've got 2 other clips as well and I can't remember how long they were. So I don't know how long I've waffled on for. But thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy March vlogs. Keep an eye out on Instagram for the Advent calendar. Have a lovely March, everybody. I'll be seeing you. Hopefully you'll all come along and watch the vlogs and I'll see you plenty on there. But the podcast will be back the first week in April. So see you soon, everybody. Bye.